To the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessing to the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm the brother Shapar from the James Jamaica camp. Now, this lesson basically going to touch upon the topic of the Gentiles, just briefly. I was scrolling the web when I ran into this video here done by Vocab Malone. It was done, I think, he posted it about 2 years ago. And by the way, fair use, I'm not trying to make any profit or anything off of any video that is posted in this lesson here. But as we say, I thought he posted this video about 2 years ago. The topic came up very recently, because I think he pulled the same precept here, which is Esther 8 and 17 recently. I think the elders basically went into the breakdown. This lesson is not to break down Esther, the 8th chapter, but to point out, the level of hypocrisy that these Christians basically have, man. So let me play that video here and then we get down into the meat of the matter.
And 8:17 says, many became Jews themselves. Now that's very fascinating. So how did they become Jews? It seems, and I think I'm agreeing with Pastor Dow here, it's by conversion.
Right, so he's agreeing that other people, can convert to be Jews. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to Israel converting to being an Eden, that is unheard of. It can't happen. It can't happen where everybody else can convert to become an Israelite, But it can't happen that an Israelite can convert to become an Eden. How does that work, man? That's the level of hypocrisy these Christians have, man. That's the level of hypocrisy, because all along we've been teaching that, look, man, Israel became Gentiles, man, by conversion, by adapting, to the lifestyle of the heathen, which is a conversion. You know what I mean? But no, it only can apply to everybody else, but it can't apply to Israel, man. You see? You're a bunch of hypocrites, man. That's what it is. And you say that you agree with that stupid pastor there, Pastor Doyle, or whatever name. You know what I mean? So let me get down to the scripture, because that's what actually happened to Israel. That's the reason why, Paul and them used to go about, with the gospel for the Gentiles. And the Gentiles that Paul went to were Israelites, man, who converted to be an heathen. Can this be done? Sure, it can be done. Now, the thing is, is there any time in the scriptures where Israelites became not Israelites? And if they became not Israelites, what were they in that period of time? That's the question, So let me get back over some of them precepts here, man, because you see, you people, man, I tell you, you people, stupid ass niggas following Vocab Malone, man. You're crazy. And this is so plain. This is plain. The scripture here is very plain. This is Isaiah 1, and 8. It says, no, when she had weaned Lorama, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, call his name Lohami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. So if they become not a people, what were they when they were not a people? That is the question. Yeah? Yeah, according to Paul said that they were not a people in the book of Romans. So what are they when they are not a people? What they become? That is the question, man. So let me show you, because you see, Israel converted, man. Yeah? They adopted the ways of the heathen. And you see, it's all simple, but hey, you don't want, you Christian, you don't want to hear this any at all. You don't want to hear this, man. This is First Maccabees 1 and 14. It say, whereupon they built a place. Hold on. Let me see if we can get it go further. Here. This is First Maccabees 1 and 11. They say, in those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. So they are becoming, right here, they are making preparations to become an heathen. You know what I mean? In this case, they are becoming Greeks, man. Yeah? That was who ruling in them time. You see, in those days when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. So these Israelites start to practice the ordinances of the heathen. They start living by heathen laws instead of the laws of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So they are becoming heathen. Now, watch this now. It say, whereupon they built a place of exercise, you know, at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. So they start to do heathenic customs. Not only that, yeah, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsake the holy covenant. So you have Israelites that weren't circumcised becoming heathen. So when Paul was giving the gospel to the uncircumcision, guess who he was giving the gospel to? Israelites that no longer come up under the customs of Israel, where they were circumcised and living according. They are living according to the Greek customs and the Greek laws and the Greek philosophies. That's how they become heathen, man, and they become Gentile. That's how they become Gentile, man. You see? Oh, Israel can't be a Gentile. Guess what? Eden can't be an Israelite. Yeah? But anyway, you see, that's it. So if Jake can convert, man. Yeah, stop being an hypocrite. Jake can convert. Convert being a heathen. Just like our Jake today are heathens, man. A lot of Jakes today are heathen. They are not doing the customs of our forefathers. They are heathen. They are Gentiles. They are Americans. They are British. They are Trinidadian, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, Mexican. All these different heathenistic names, and names that even not even people don't name them. But anyway, some of the names them just name them off of some things from nature or whatsoever. But anyway, let me continue here. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. So they join themselves to the heathen. So they become whatsoever the heathen is, man. So be not surprised, in the New Testament, you have Paul going about trying bringing the gospel to Israelites that were heathen. They were Israelite in the Gentile state of mind, just like Jake today. Uncircumcised. Yeah. So that's what it was, man. Let me get some more precept here. Yeah, and we want to bring out this because, as we mentioned, Jake be calling himself the names of the Eden. You know, you can born in America as an American. You know, but when you look at your skin color, you know, it appear dark versus the white man, you know, with his skin color appear pale, and then you have other people with different melanin living there in America. So it's a mix up thing, but they are all calling themselves Americans, you know, by citizenship. You know what I mean? So once someone here in the New Testament, Roman. Once someone here in the New Testament, Corinthians. Once someone here in the New Testament, Philippians, they automatically assume, you know, a specific type of race. When it is not so. Because if you are doing it by assumption, then what is Paul? Yeah? We all know that Paul is an Israelite. He said that he's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. But what is Paul saying right here? Yeah? So Paul is actually a Roman citizen. What about the Israelites that are not circumcised, that are not going according to the custom as the book of Maccabees say, but still calling themselves Romans? Just like Paul. They still call themselves Corinthians. You know? That's what it was, man. Yeah, they converted in being the nation that they're basically living among and doing the customs of those nations, man. That's what happened, man. You know? Everybody can be a spiritual Jew or a spiritual Israelite or whatsoever, but the Israelite can't be nothing else. But Israelite just can't be nothing else. And I don't know. There's a block. I don't know. You know? Christians are stupid, man. Let me read this right here. It said, and as they bound him, speaking about Paul, you see, as they bound him with as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman? Slovakia. It say, read it again. It say, and as it's verse 25, it say, and as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned? When the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman. And we know that Paul is of the tribe of Benjamin. But right here, even Paul basically gave the notion that, look, he is a Roman by citizenship, man. So you can't assume, you know, by you hear the word Gentile, you can't assume by you hearing the word Ephesians, and you hearing the word Corinthians, and you hear the word Philippians, you cannot assume that is the actual Eden, man. Because just like Paul, you have people calling themselves by them names, by them nationality. They're just like how Paul called himself a Roman, man. Yeah? But just want to point out the hypocrisy there, you know, you quick for run for a scripture and say, you have people became Jews, but they can't accept that Israelite became heathen or Israelite became Gentile. You know, big hypocrisy, man. You know, so with that, I say, Kalalali, Bashim, Yawashai, Bashim, Raka, Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.